feared for the power of her mind, worried about what she could find. Hey Leo, this is a timeless reading for you. I am using my own cards. Your reading starts with a card reality, followed by coincidence, resistance, the devil, God, and imagination. And I have to be honest, your reading is the first one so far. That feels very confusing to me. Like I start to see a lot of things, but then it's hard to follow the thread and it immediately jumps into a new story. My God, sorry. Either it's complex or it's just senseless. I don't know. Let me just tap into one thing I'm getting. I have to start somewhere. Oh my God, it's so much at once. On one hand, I feel like if you're a woman, you could be picking out a guy, someone like you are. It could be spontaneously at the street. I usually don't get these flirty things in my readings. It's not my reading style somehow. And usually we would associate that men turn their head after a woman walks by, but I feel like it's the other way around. I don't know why I'm getting this. So you could be doing, like you could spot someone. It could be someone you have kept your eyes on for a while, and this person is quite innocent. They don't know that you have a thing for them. They really don't expect or suspect it at all. Like they're just stumbling through life somehow and they don't think about anything in this sense, in this way. Yet it could be the other way around. Like if you are the man, this could be, you being watched. Don't get me wrong, it's not a creepy being watched. Someone is having an eye on you and you don't expect that at all. You don't even feel it. Like there is no sign, you have no clue at all. Another storyline I'm getting here is that it's not flirty or romantic or whatever. It is sorry, I'm tired, I had to yawn. It is like you're watching a younger person being foolish and naive, but getting away with it all the time. But you also see the abyss below them. You know, if this person will keep on walking through life like that, one day the day will come where they will fall. They can't keep going like this. And it's like you're tearing down your sunglasses, facing reality, looking at this person like, oh my God, this person is really far away from reality, but they are getting through with it. Okay, of course, it doesn't have to necessarily be a younger person. It could also just be someone who's quite stupid or naive. With this resistance card, I don't necessarily feel it's your resistance in both things I was getting here. If this is the flirty romantic situation, I feel like this is a third energy that is annoyed or bothered about these circumstances. Like they don't want this kind of flirtatious stuff going on. It could also be a third person in that case, that this is just a younger person being very naive. That this person is extremely angry about it, grumpy, while you are just, you're just staying calm, watching the whole scenario. The other person is extremely, these kind of people. They immediately get super disrespectful and angry and grumpy. I feel like there is something more here. You could also shift a little bit into resistance. Sorry, as I said, your reading was the only one so far that was a little bit confusing and hard to grasp. Maybe that's how you feel at the moment also. You could even be watching these two people be completely opposing, represent completely opposing energies. Someone's really being carefree, or rather careless and naive, while the other person is very, like they have a stick up their ass, obsessed with rules. Extremely unrelaxed, while the other person is a little bit too relaxed, and you feel like you're the only realistic person in this situation. But you're smooth. But then later you could shift into some kind of resistance or anger slightly regarding this person here. Maybe they exaggerate something a little bit towards this naive person. And then you will feel like, oh, this is a little bit too much. And then you will get mad at this stiff person here. And I don't know why it suddenly shifts into an entirely different topic. Suddenly your reading becomes extremely spiritual. We have devil and God next to each other. I never had that constellation. And I feel like you have to go through hell. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying horrible things will happen to you now. Like inwardly, you have to go through hell to understand something. Like you have to face the devil to see through it and to find the true God. As if the true God is hiding behind the devil as some kind of trick. So that, because maybe the true God wants people to be brave and not to only Oh, now I see the connection to the first row. Both of these people represent some kind of devilish energy. The angry, intolerant guy who hates everyone, like he's a part of the devil somehow. Someone who scolds everyone and hates freedom and wants everyone to be some kind of slaves to some laws, or yeah, just like the devil wants these people to be enslaved. And the naive guy here, he doesn't even want to face anything. He doesn't think about God nor about the devil. He thinks about nothing, like some kind of dullness. And this person has no questions about existential stuff. They have no question about anything profound. So they're just stumbling through life, not even wondering why they are alive, how it happened that they are alive, what happens if they are not alive anymore, like, all these questions that people can have, these profound spiritual questions. This person doesn't have that. And I feel like there's some kind of task for you here, some kind of calling that you have to go through all this, through all the layers of this dark stuff as some kind of test. And now there's the imagination card that makes me feel like it is not your imagination. You will realize something about people's imagination and how imagination can be such a vast distraction from figuring things out, from becoming truly spiritual, because many people, they only read books, they follow some leaders, they have hallucination and think those are true spiritual experiences, while other people, they truly have profound spiritual experiences, but they tell no one. And you might figure something out here. Let me see what's... We have pretense at the bottom of the deck. This could be either about you or someone else, that you're figuring out something. Someone is pretentious. We all pretend now and then sometimes, because it's also a survival strategy. Sometimes, especially in our job, we are not allowed to show any weakness, even if we have a very bad day. So it's not always a horribly immature thing to be a little bit pretentious, but some people, they overdo it a little bit. And like there's some kind of conflict, disconnection between this inner child and the grown physical outer body around the inner child. Like something is disconnected, and it was part of your reading here as well, where I, as a reader, couldn't figure out how to connect the first and the second row. I felt like they were entirely disconnected, but then suddenly I had this epiphany, and this is what's probably coming towards you soon as well. We have order, so that's a good sign, especially if we put it here on the God card. And authenticity, very nice. Speaking what's on your heart through your tongue. There is growth coming in as well. It feels like, yeah, you really have to go through something to realize something and to find some kind of true source of light, not the one that everyone is trying to sell to people. That is just an idea, some kind of imagination. And something in your life will, it feels very dry and structured here, but in a good way, because sometimes we need structure. We want that. So there's some kind of reality check that brings in some kind of order. By you being honest, by you being authentic, there will also be some kind of growth happening in your life here as well. Give me a second to see if there's something else here that I overlooked. Actually not. It's just good that I pulled the order card, because I said in the beginning your reading is a little bit confusing, so it felt a little bit chaotic to me, which isn't a surprise when the devil appears, because the devil loves to destroy God's order. So here I'm going to use my sarcastic animal messages to finish your reading. Please don't get offended. These cards are for fun. So there's the ostrich. What I don't see can't bother me. So you are the opposite of that. You are taking down your sunglasses to see the reality of everything. But you might be surrounded by people with this kind of energy, and it might be something that you're tired of. The dog, I obey you. Okay, there's something about this kind of toxic spirituality, this toxic positivity here, where, everything dark, everything that is violent is being erased from people's mind, so that other people can be abused, raped, exploited, whatever, and no one will help them, because no one is evil, doesn't exist, this kind of stuff. That people start to imagine a lot of positive things that aren't even coming true. And, This is the energy of the dog. I obey you. What I don't see can't bother me. They're just people blindfolding themselves so they don't have the so they don't have to see the suffering and injustice in the world, and they just blindly obey some preachers or teachers' light. Words. Sorry, my God. I'm confused by this reading. Then we have Jaguar. I'm a loner. This might be you wanting to withdraw. And of course, all these animals could have a different meaning for you here as well. For some of you, there's also literally something about a black cat. Could just be a common house cat. Doesn't have to be a jaguar. And the owl. I'm spooky and I see through you. Maybe this is what makes you feel like a little bit like a misfit, because maybe you see things that others cannot see, and it makes you, people might feel this about you, that you're a little bit spooky, even though if you don't always express these things or talk about these things, sometimes people can just feel when we see through them, and then they don't like us. And even though we are polite, we don't start fights, we're just behaving normal. We are not uttering a word about anything, but some people, they just feel that you see them and you see something that they don't want you to see about them. Then they will become a little bit weird sometimes. Okay, I hope that resonates with anyone in the world, with someone. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.